Hey guys, here's a video that hopefully explains this CAGED system, and it'll allow you to have like a record of it, a document to be able to look at and refer to if you get confused or whatnot. So essentially we've learnt our E minor pentatonic scales in the CAGED system. So we have 5 scale shapes and 5 chord shapes. So we're just going to cover those quickly. The E minor CAGED shape. So we've got as our E minor, and we call that the E shape. And with this one, we're building the root, the scale off this 6th string, the open E. So just to reinforce that, if we were to move this shape down now and put a bar on the 2nd fret here, the F sharp, and apply that same chord, we now have an F sharp minor. Cool. Alright, so here's the scale shape around that. And that's what we call the E shape. And then we play the scale. So here it is now in F sharp again. I'm playing the E shape. It's an F sharp chord, but we're playing the E shape. And here's the scale. Same scale we just played, moved up 2 frets. Alright, so that's shape 1. Before we go any further, let's cover all 5 shapes. So we've got E shape, next we have the D shape, which is built off a D minor chord. And here's the root note, it lies on the 2nd string and also the 4th string. So wherever we move that root note to, we get a minor chord. So now I've moved the root note to an E, and that becomes an E minor chord, but we call this the D shape. So if we wanted to add that root note there, we'll just have to change our finger pattern. There it is. So now the shape that goes around this is shape 2 of what we've learnt of the E minor pentatonics. Right, and our 2 root notes in that shape are there, 4th string, 2nd fret, and 2nd string, 5th fret. So when I'm creating licks around that, here's my chord, and I'm going to create licks and try resolve on that E note. There they are. And there's my chord. Okay, moving on. The next 2 shapes now are built off a root note on the 5th string. So 5th string's here. And what we're going to do is find an E note, 7th fret on that 5th string. And this shape we happen to call the C shape. Now what that means is it's built off a C minor chord, which is 3rd fret, 5th string, 1st fret, 4th string, and just the open 3rd string. That's all we want to hear. That's it. So wherever we move that shape to now, we get a minor chord that we're calling the C shape. So if I move that up to an E note now and apply that chord and just strum these 3 strings, that's what we're calling our C shape. So shape 1, E shape, shape 2, D shape, shape 3, C shape. While we're here, we might as well move on to shape 4 quickly because it's built off the exact same root note off the 5th string, but it moves forwards now. So that was C shape. Now if we go here, apply a bar and play an A minor chord shape, but with the bar, we get what we call our A shape. Alright, so here's our C shape again, and the scale that goes around it is this one. And it's important to know where your 2 root notes are once again. It's here, 5th string, 7th fret, and 2nd string, 5th fret. Here's our shape again. So chord, and I've resolved on an E note. Sounds nice. Okay, next shape now, A shape. Here's our 2 root notes, 5th string, 7th fret, and 3rd string, 9th fret, an octave apart, and here's our chord. It's the A minor chord shape, but moved up to an E note, which gives us the A shape, and here's our A shape scale. So when I'm creating licks around here, I like to sort of start there on the root note, or you'll see me work off that root note. Okay, last shape. This one's a bit confusing. The good thing about it is it's the exact same finger pattern as the C shape, but moved up to the 6th string. So what we do, and this is called the G shape. So the reason is it's built off a G minor chord in the open position, which is the same as the C, but moved up. So same rule applies. Wherever we move this root note to now, and apply this chord shape, we'll get a minor chord. So we're going to find an E note on the 6th string and play this shape, and only those 3 strings, and we get the G shape. So you're probably noticing now that there's a backwards shape off the 6th string root note, the G shape, and there's a forward shape as well, the E shape, and we have the same thing for the 5th string, C shape and the A shape. So anyway, back to the G shape, starting on the 12th fret, the root note E, building my chord backwards, and here's a scale around that, which we call the G shape scale. We've got 3 root notes here, 12th fret 6th string, 9th fret 3rd string, and 12th fret 1st string. Okay, just throwing all them chords together quickly. Shut up, bird. E shape, D shape, root notes here, 2nd string, that's an E note. 3rd shape, C shape, root notes there. 4th shape, A shape, there's my root note. And the last shape is the G shape. Good. So what would be a really good idea to help reinforce these shapes is to move them, once you're comfortable with them in E, obviously, move them to another key. I would suggest A. So before you do that though, to get comfortable with them, always play the chord, then practice the scale. So here's our chord, and the scale around it's this. Then you'd move on to shape 2. Play the chord, then play some licks around it. Finish on a root note. Shape 3. Play the chord, play a shape around it. Fourth shape. Play the chord, then some licks around it. Final shape, G shape. Play some licks around it. And we can take the first shape up the octave now. Alright, so if I applied that theory to A minor now, I'm going to start at the lowest point on my guitar. So I'm going to find the first A chord I can find up here, and then move higher. So my first A chord is this one, the A shape. The next one would be the G shape, built off this root note on the 6th string, that's an A, but built backwards. The next shape is the E shape, that's built off the 6th string again. I'm going to have the D shape. So I'm building that off an A note here on the 2nd string, that's the 10th fret. The final one will be the C shape, so it's built off the 5th string fret, root note, which happens to be on the 12th fret here in A, and we build the chord backwards. So once you learn to see these chords and apply them on the guitar and then play an appropriate scale around them, we're really getting into some good territory with improvisation. This is the kind of method I'm using all the time when I'm improvising. Okay, I hope that makes sense, guys. Any questions, feel free to email me, text me, whatever. Send me a message if you want to chat, and I'll give you guys a call when I can. Alright, I hope this helps. Bye.